What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video I want to talk about Rayman and some of the stuff we've been hearing and some of the stuff that's actually confirmed about what could be coming. This might be a big day looking back, and, honestly, whenever I talk about Ubisoft, whenever we bring up the Skull and Bones and the Assassin's Creed and all that jazz, I always get several comments that talk about the Rayman franchise. So I hope that, this is years and years away, but I hope that we're going to be there to support this game like we were not there for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and show Ubisoft that yes, Rayman is something that we still want and we would support. And so basically this started actually earlier today, picking up from the rumor of yesterday in which, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown obviously didn't do well. I think that part's somewhat confirmed, but the rumor was that the studio was dissolved, the sequel to the game was pitched, Ubisoft said no to it, and that was kind of where it was left. It's kind of like this limbo phase of like, okay, well, where did the developers go and all that jazz. I actually made a video on this on Podcast Now Plus yesterday. Well, it turns out, I think Ubisoft has kind of talked about a little bit, seems like the whole dissolving thing is probably not true. There might have been people that were kind of switched around. Like the rumor was some of the people went to work on a Rayman remake, which is, part of what we're here to talk about. And then there was other stuff where, some of them went to work on Beyond Good and Evil 2. Some of them went to work on a new Ghost Recon game. So dissolved maybe, but sounds more like there's still a team there. That team still exists. But a lot of people kind of got like flipped over, like, to somewhere else. Well, Ubisoft actually did confirm today that they are looking at Rayman. And they mentioned specifically that team. In fact, it's two different teams. They're in the very early stages of doing something basically Rayman related, okay? And that's really all Ubisoft said. Early stages. They're exploring. I think exploring was the word, which is actually kind of funny, at least to me, at least when I think about it. They're exploring Rayman. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, they're looking to make a new game, right? However, the rumor earlier today is actually it's going to be a remake. And I believe Project Steambot is the code name for it. Now, that's led people to believe, well, again, the rumor is a remake, but then, okay, well, which one would you remake? And people are saying, okay, well, if you look at the title to it, it reminds you of Rayman 2 specifically, maybe like a 2 and 3 thing, maybe like a 1, 2, 3, maybe a 1, 2. You got a lot of different combinations, but, it's been tried before that you could kind of put a couple games together. You don't just have to do one. Now, if you are remaking a game, yeah, you tend to kind of stick with one of them, right? The more games that you do to a remake, the harder it is, the longer it is, the more time and resources it would take. Normally, remasters or collections, right? That's kind of where you would get, well, obviously a collection. That's where you get, the majority of the games or just some of the games, more than one, to be put together. But I still look, no matter how you slice it, I think it's a good news day for Rayman, right? Because if you want to go all the way to believing the rumors, then you're getting a Rayman remake, and then also Ubisoft confirms that they are doing something Rayman related. It's just that it's in the early stages. So that's why, in the beginning of this video, this is years and years and years away. Now, if it's a remake, I feel like you'd probably get it out faster than like a brand new game. I'm honestly good with anything. I just think, well, number one, that team made Rayman games, right? The team that made The Lost Crown. So, like, good to have some of those people still there or coming back, I guess, however you want to look at it. That's good. And then two, like, yeah, this is something that I think a lot of people want. Maybe not the most people in the world. Like, you put a Rayman game up against Assassin's Creed or, other things like that. I don't think Rayman comes out on top, but, this is one of those, like, smaller things. You look at Ubisoft, again, like this is what we've kind of been talking about the last couple months, right? Like you look at Ubisoft with how they're handling Splinter Cell and just like churning out Far Cries and 10 Assassin's Creed games coming, and one of them, being a Black Flag remake and just all this stuff, right? Skull and Bones is a not success earlier this year. Star Wars Outlaws not being very successful. They need some small things like this, right? Like they need the Sands of Time to come out and just like be incredibly solid. They need Splinter Cell's remake to come out and be solid. They need to do more with those franchises. Obviously, The Lost Crown didn't exactly work, but you need a Rayman game. You can keep going with the Assassin's Creed and the Ghost Recons and Far Cries, but I think you need some of these smaller, like little victories, and I think that would go a long way. It takes a while because these things don't happen overnight, but I think that'd be a step in the right direction. direction. So I'm hopeful, but at the same time, well, it's not even like it is a rumor, at least the remake part to it. But also when you have Ubisoft confirming that they're at least looking at it, it's like, okay, you're probably getting something Rayman coming soon. Soon meaning 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know if you actually consider that soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.